Taking a look at the international headlines this Friday. And Nick, no surprise, we're beginning with that memo that everyone's talking about before it's released.
Hi to you, Will. And yes, that memo not out, but the expectation is high. What will be in it? Precisely. President Donald Trump, as we know, is expected to clear the way for the publication of it. Republicans are saying that it shows improper use of surveillance by the FBI in the very early stages of the Russia investigation. So for the editorial board of the New York Times, this is niet, don't go there. This is a plot by the Republicans against the FBI. It says the release of the memo, which has been produced by the staff of Republican head of the House Intelligence Committee, Devin Nunes, is just a question of unbridled self-interest and bottomless bad faith. So another quote in that editorial board piece there is that there is so much obfuscation and deception here, it's just hard to know where to begin with it. So, of course, all this before the memo is published.
Yeah, that's right. And another paper also very critical, the Washington Post.
Washington Post has an opinion piece by Eugene Robinson, again saying the same thing. Don't go there. He's picked to fight Trump with the FBI. He'll learn his lesson the hard way. He'll be sorry. Now, this is a great history lesson. One article to read, actually, is this one. It goes through all the presidents. Franklin D. Roosevelt coexisted warily with the FBI, but Harry Truman was really bitterly opposed. But what happened? J. Edgar Hoover stayed in office as director of the FBI right through to just a few weeks before Watergate broke out. That article gives other examples and says Trump and his minions will not be able to put a scratch on the FBI in this case.
And one of the other stories we're covering here on France 24, the fundraising conference in Senegal, co-hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron and his counterpart Macky Sall.
Let's go right away to Le Soleil for a bit of sunshine, and it takes a very positive slant on the visit there. You can see a picture of Macron with Macky Sall, and also the headline, Dakar, capital of education. And the editorial is saying in that paper, this marks a new era in terms of ties between Senegal and France. So the two presidents actually co-hosting this global partnership for education conference. The aim is to raise hundreds of millions, billions for children in Africa to get better education. Critical commentary, though, comes from La Tribune Afrique, if we go to that paper, and it's saying that, in fact, the Senegalese opposition, including the Senegalese Democratic Party of Abdoulaye Wade, will not be celebrating Macron's presence. Instead, they'll be wearing red armbands to protest what they see as the rhetoric of Macron's anti-colonialism. So the headline there, as you can see, yes, he's in Senegal to talk about education, but there will be protests. One of the opposition politicians in Senegal has also spoken out about Rihanna, who is the singer, of course, but also the ambassadrice, the ambassador of Goodwill Ambassador for the Education Partnership. And it says that the politician says that she does not represent any of the kind of role model we want to see for Senegalese girls. So there is some opposition within Senegal to this.
And some papers also looking at a story that raised my eyebrows this morning when I saw it. The death of Natalie Wood, the star of West Side Story. This death 3 decades ago, but some new revelations, aren't there?
Well, this is something that's obviously being picked up a lot, not least with the Californian and American papers. The Hollywood Reporter is saying that LA County sheriff investigators believe that Robert Wagner is a person of interest. He was her then husband at the time of the boating accident. She went missing on the boat and then disappeared from a dinghy and drowned. The investigation, there is one that's been going for several years into the circumstances of that death. Now, for the LA Times, the question in their opening, actually, of their article is, well, is this murder or is this an accident? That's always been the speculation. And it says that the story is emerging now because of a CBS show that will look at comments by LA County Sheriff investigators, where they're basically saying they believe that Robert Wagner knows more about what actually happened that night than he's previously said. So obviously the interest in that is massive, as the star of West Side Story, of course,
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Nick. Nick Rusher, for a roundup of what's making international headlines. Stay tuned. France 24 will be back here in just a moment with more headlines of our own coming up.